Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Expert here on Buzzworthy Businesses. I'm your host, John Visser, and with me today, we have a guest, Phillip Stein from the Atlas Retail Services Company. Phillip, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
That's great. Phillip, tell us a little bit about the Atlas Retail Service Company and what you guys do.
Yeah, so we are a full-service installation company, and people always go, "Well, what does that mean?" We primarily work within the retail market space, and people like TJX or Five Below, they're opening stores, closing stores, they're remodeling stores, and they're hire companies like ourselves to come in and either do the new fixturing or put signs in interiorly. We do everything but ground up freestanding builds, so we'll do tenant improvements. Sometimes we gotta put in some bathrooms or make them ADA compliant, or maybe tear a wall down and add a wall depending on what the customer wants. So it's a pretty neat market spot, and that's primarily where we focus on is retail, and we've been kind of expanding out beyond that now into hospitality, into medical, etc.
That's great, and it's quite a niche environment that you are in. So let me ask you this: what kind of struggles or pain points would you see for the next year?
Yeah, so we've been growing pretty quickly. It's a family-owned company. The two brothers, what's a brother and a brother-in-law, and their wives very heavily involved in it as well. And we have been growing very fast. So they brought me on about 2 years ago to kind of help spur that growth. And our biggest challenge is labor. Sometimes we'll have 600-700 people out in the field at any given time. We don't really sub out our work. We self-perform. Most of our, I think almost all of our employees at this point in time are W-2 employees. And so that, when we start to scale, finding good quality labor is a challenge.
I can just imagine, and then not even just to factor in the training of said employees. So let me ask you this, in your own words, how would you define success?
That's a good question. For me personally, what I'm looking at on success when I'm working with a customer is, are we on target to hit the dates that they required? Are employees in the stores being professional and representing not only our company, but in some cases we're representing a third-party company within a retailer? And then when we're finished with that, have we done it to the level that we expect our employees to do it, but also to the level that our customer expects to do it? So really kind of three parts there. It would be the best way I could answer that question.
And so, Phillip, your journey, did you start off in this company, or were you involved in a different segment? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I originally started out in high tech. Worked for Advanced Micro Devices for some time, and managed about a 22-state territory in the Midwest. And by luck, I ended up getting into loss prevention at one point in time, which is a whole different world. And I was in that world for about 12 years. And then I ended up stepping away, and a buddy of mine was telling me about the construction industry. He goes, "Man, Phil, there's just so much business. Even though there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of work." And he introduced me to the owners of Atlas about a little over 2 years ago. And I was lucky enough to get an opportunity to come on board. I mean, it's probably one of the best companies I've ever worked for. And I don't say that willy-nilly. I mean, a lot of people say, "It's a really good company, good people. They take very good care of their employees. They are very employee-centric. They have kind of a servant attitude, if you would." And I would have never thought I'd be in this industry. So it's pretty interesting to be here now. And it is a very big and growing industry.
That's absolutely fantastic. One last question here. What advice can you give to anybody else who wants to come into the construction industry?
If you're going to work for somebody, it's a little bit different than if you're trying to do it yourself. I mean, it's a very heavy cash flow intensive type of business. I wouldn't personally want to take it on. It's a big risk, and these guys do it pretty well. And I don't know how they do it, but they do it well. But if you were coming in from the outside in, understanding people, being able to reach out to people, it's a lot of cold calling, it's a lot of networking, and it's a lot of no's. So you have to have some tough skin.
Philip, thank you so much for coming on to the show. It seems like we've run out of time here. And thank you very much for all the viewers that tuned in today. If you guys would like to find out more about businesses like the Atlas Retail Services, please tune into the dailynewsnetwork.com. Until next time.